Welcome to KIRSTIcast, the show where we hope to illuminate, entertain, and engage our listeners, helping them create the life they want. I'm your host, Kirsti Manna. Hi, everyone. I'm Kirsti Manna, and welcome to KIRSTIcast. I'm so glad you're here. Is this you? Do you think with your heart? When you feel like you're going in a million directions, do you let your heart take the lead for a few minutes and focus on calmness and peace? It seems like when I was younger, I was always being told to think with my heart. Is following your heart only for youth? Or do I need to be retired to think with my heart? We live in a demanding world, and most of the time, it seems that none of us really have time to follow our hearts, let alone even discuss with ourselves what we really want out of life. Is it simply about carving out a space that helps us see our heart's desires? That space could be anywhere. It just needs to be someplace without distractions, that's intentional. It needs to be a place that's quiet so you can really listen to your heart. I don't really have a bucket list written in my journal, but I know what I want to accomplish with my life. I've always been a goal setter, and for me, setting goals has been a great way to express my heart's desires. Do you set aside time each day for yourself? There's some great mental and physical benefits to meditating, for example. Just sitting quietly with yourself is a great distressor. Don't you have 10 minutes for yourself, just 10 minutes? Of course you do. And if you say you're too busy to meditate, well, then you probably need to meditate longer. I loved an exercise I learned while reading The Artist's Way. The author, Julia Cameron, suggested taking an artist date. And this was a date with yourself to do something that you really wanted to express creatively, something you've missed doing or you haven't done for some time. I'm sure you have a short list of activities, and I know there's places that you would love to visit and take yourself on an artist date. Let your heart do the thinking once in a while. Find interests that touch your heart and help you get in touch with yourself. Stay tuned for a really heartfelt Shero Spotlight. Stay tuned for the Shero Spotlight. Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Shero Spotlight. Well, I have a really special guest with me today in the Shero Spotlight. I can't wait for you to meet her. And she comes all the way from, I'm not going to say, I'm going to let you guess where she's from when you hear her talk. All right. She is only 17 years old, and she is a contemporary country artist from the wonderful country of Australia. She has played some very big stages, and now she's on one of the biggest stages after her move to Nashville. She began singing at 10 years old, and she got her first guitar at 12, and she dove into following her country music dream. And this led her to a collaboration with the Australian artist James Blundell entitled Annie June. And I actually remember her playing that when we played at the Bluebird together. Mm-hmm. The song got to the top 10 on the Australian country radio chart, as well as 4 other charts. She's a sought-after performer, and she's performed at the Tamworth Country Music Festival. I've always wanted to go to that. And the Gympie Muster, what a name, in 2022, to name a few. She's won many awards, and she's been a finalist for some of Australia's most prominent music awards. Her single, The Two of Us Meet, hit over 1 million streams and went to number 1 on the iTunes Australian Country Chart. She's had some amazing testimonials, but my favorite is from a very successful country artist who I love, who said, "I can't wait for you to go on and do great things." And that was from the lips of Keith Urban. Her current single is Follow My Road, and she's got a new one coming out soon. She's going to tell us about that. Please welcome the amazing Lily Grace.
Good morning.
Hi, how are you?
I'm well. Thank you so much for having me.
It's so great to see you here.
Absolutely. I feel like we have like a long-standing writing relationship. You were one of the first people I wrote with when I came to Nashville last year. Aww. And my latest single was obviously written with you, so it's so good to be sitting here and chatting with you, Kirsti.
Oh, it's really great to have you. And I just have to say that when I first met you, I just thought you had so much energy and so much spunk. And then you came and you played on a Bluebird show with me and also with Bill DeLuigi and Chaise Flanders. And you were so excited. You came walking into the Bluebird and you said, Kirsti, what can I do? Is there anything you need? And I'm like, wow, who is this kid? Like, she's like, she's got a great work ethic.
I was like starry-eyed that night. I was like smitten on the spot. I was like, I am playing the Bluebird. It was honestly like one of my favorite shows ever. So that was just incredible.
Oh, well, I'm so glad you enjoyed it.
Oh, yeah.
So a lot of things we can talk about, but one thing I want to ask you is, what do you notice is a difference about songwriting from being an Australian artist to coming to Nashville? What are some things that you notice that are different?
Yeah, I feel like it's a very hands-on kind of process here, and people really work on crafting a song. And back home in Australia, at least the people I was working with, maybe it's the circles, but it was more like, let's, woodshed something out. Here it's like we have 3 hours and we have to get this done, and it's a very, like a driven kind of task, which I love. The funniest part about it, though, is like the cultural differences between words, and like me bringing in phrases the way I say them with my accent, and also like, just different things have different meanings, and you guys don't call things different things. And
it's so true. It's like learning another language sometimes, right?
Like I will say like stuff like veranda, which you guys mean it's a porch, or I'll say like a ute, which you guys call a truck, and the writers are like, well, what? And it's really funny because you have to keep navigating around that, but it's definitely something that we have to work through, but it's a funny little difference.
Oh,
as well.
yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's really true, especially the word ute, because my husband Bill wrote a song with Kelly Hope at one time about not my ute, and I think it was a song about somebody else's vehicle being in the driveway or something like that, and we were like, what? Because over here, ute can mean like a little kind of slang for youth, like he's a ute. Yeah.
I've never heard of that. Yeah. There you go. As we were saying.
We've got another one, right? That's fun. Yeah. I love it. So who are some people you've been writing with while you've been here?
Yeah, I've been kind of like navigating through a few circles, but I definitely have like my little group that I stick to as well. And I've been writing with you, obviously, Chaise Flanders. I wrote with Greg Barnhill the other day. That was really exciting.
He's so great.
He was amazing. I loved that. Dakota Striplin, Jordan Dozzi, just a really great circle of people who they bring great energy to the room, and we get something good. So I love that.
That's the name of the game, right? Because in Nashville, I think there's some kind of expectation. You're gonna get in the room, and it used to be that a lot of times writing appointments lasted very long. They might last all day, but now it's more like you're punching a clock. Okay, we're going in at 10, we're punching out at 1, and we're gonna have a lunch. We're gonna go to another 2.
Exactly.
And so you kind of have to get in there, and you're very good at this for someone so young. You get right in there on the focus, and you really hang with it, and I think you're somebody that really knows what you want to say. What are some things you do want to say in your songs as a young artist?
Yeah, I think it's really important. Like, what I love about like sessions is that here it's quite obviously driven to get it done, but it's very you can bring in an idea and people are quite often really willing to work on that with you. And like my goal always as like an artist, songwriter, is to kind of write a song that makes someone feel heard or seen. And I think the only way to do that is to be super authentic with what you're saying, and to be specific about your scenario and what's going on, and like people can often resonate with that. So I always try to say something, I try to not be as generalized with it, but actually speak about my situation specifically, and then we can, people can kind of understand that and comprehend it better, I think.
Right.
So that's kind of my goal as a writer, yeah.
I think that's great. Yeah, I love that. What I know you just recently, if I could talk, played Whiskey Jam in Nashville. So how did you get the opportunity to do that? And tell me about your band and what you did and everything.
Yeah, man, I was like, again, smitten on the spot. It was freaking Whiskey Jam, and I was like amazed to be there. I had I signed a management deal recently, which is how that opportunity came about. And cool. I got to be included in this amazing night with some amazing talent. We had Craig Wayne Boyd, Ella Langley, and another lineup of amazing artists. We had this amazing band we put together with my team, and we rehearsed it. We got it really tight, and I was just so happy with how it was sounding. Everything went really well to plan, and the crowd seemed to dig it, which is always a win.
Oh, so yeah, you want that. That's what we care about, right?
It's ideal, isn't it? But
I don't care how I look, just love me.
Exactly, right? No, I loved it. It was awesome.
That's so great. How many songs did you get to play?
I did 3.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's great. So who all was in your band? How many people did you have in your band?
We did a 3-piece, so it was me and 3 others. We had a drummer, Joel, a bassist, Caleb, and a guitarist, Nathan. They were all awesome.
Nice.
Me and all my girlfriends.
Yeah, that's great. I love that. So, what do you love about being a young artist in 2023? What's exciting to you about being a young artist?
I think the opportunity and all these new experiences, everything really excites me about it. And a lot of things I do are first times, like, first time being on a radio show, first time doing a TV interview, first time, playing in a city, or first time doing whatever. And that really excites me and drives me to kind of work as hard as I can to get more opportunities like that. Mm-hmm. And I think the really special part about being young is that I'm so fresh-faced to it. And I really haven't experienced a lot of these things. And obviously being quite young, it's very new to me, but I think that makes it all the better because I really, really get a kick out of everything I get to do. And I'll walk off stage like all giddy and jumpy and stuff because I just love it. And I think that's such a, exciting and thing that something I'm super grateful for.
Yeah. Well, I think that's really good advice too for any young artists who are listening, or maybe their moms listening, to what you have to say about that, because I think so much of success in the music business is enthusiasm and just being willing to, go for whatever comes your way, within reason. Sure. I remember when I was writing with you, when we first met, that you had an opportunity to go play some event with some brothers. I forget who they were.
Yeah.
Was it a couple brothers ready to have an act? And you were like, I'll be there. And you just hopped in your car and you drove off and you did it.
It was the funniest story ever because he called me up and he called me like 12 times. And I was like,
why is he bugging me?
Minutes. I was like, clearly they cannot talk. But he kept calling and I answered and I was like, hey, it was Chris from the Davison Brothers.
That's it. Okay.
Yeah. And he was like, do you want a gig tomorrow in New Jersey? And I was like, sure, like who else is in the lineup? And he was like, oh, Morgan Wallen, Miranda Lambert, like Keith Urban, Florida Georgia Line. And I was like, yeah, sure. And I was like, where's the gig? And he was like, New Jersey. And I was like, me being Australian has no idea like the scope of America. I was like, can you drive there? And he's like, yeah. And I was like,
but
okay,
why would you want to?
I'll take it. Yeah, you'd think you'd say that. I get home and I was like, hey, Mum, tomorrow we're going to New Jersey. My set's at like 2 p.m. And she was like, okay, where's New Jersey? And I was like, well, apparently you can drive there. It's a 12-hour drive. And I was like, nay, this is not helpful. So we literally booked a flight, got on it like 4 hours later, flew to New Jersey and did the show. And it was so much fun. The airline lost my guitar, of course.
Oh, no.
I know.
Did they ever get it back?
We got it back literally 40 minutes before the set. They delivered it to the festival. And I was stressing out. And I was like, oh my God, because they weren't even there yet because their set wasn't till later. So I knew no one. I was walking backstage, to all these big artists, trying to find backup guitars and stuff just in case. But it all worked out. But that's just the kicker that it's so much fun when things come last minute and you get to do these amazing opportunities. It's just so much fun.
I love that day because you said, you were with Bill D and I, and you said it's in New Jersey, and we're like, oh, you better leave now.
Yeah, literally.
Oh, that's fantastic. I absolutely love it. So what's advice that you would give a young artist? And maybe to some, I did so many events with Songwriter Girl, and so many times people would say, well, I want to move to Nashville. And I'd always say, well, you should probably go there and visit first and make sure you dig it and it's cool and you need to make friends and network. And you're very good at networking.
Thanks.
and that's so important, as a songwriter. And in Nashville, it's the name of the game. Mm-hmm. But what is some advice that you would give a young artist who maybe wants to make a move?
I think, first of all, it's just so important to have, confidence and high self-esteem. And I used to struggle a lot with anxiety when I was younger, 12, 11. And my dad really helped me work through that. And singing really helped me with having to be on a stage and, playing pub gigs and people ignore you, or busking and people will walk past or give you dirty looks and stuff. But I think the most important part is really just more than anything, first of all, is just really know your worth and know that, I think, I'm worthy of certain things, and not to be arrogant about it, but just to have enough confidence, because you are going to get told no by a lot of people. And I reach out to a lot of people and I get a lot of no's, and I'll reach out to events and stuff and you get told no a lot of times, and that can be really disheartening and it can break you down if you don't know that, it's okay, it's just their opinion of me, it's not a reflection of me as a person or a performer or an artist. And I think it's just so valuable to really have that early on before you start really immersing yourself into those environments.
Yeah, I think that's really true. And another thing that I think is important is, you seem to know a lot of songs. You can play a whole set of music or covers and your music or whatever it is. And I think that's really important too. You have to have a real plan of how you're going to go about it, because obviously coming from, anywhere else, and then you come to the United States, unless you're coming from a really, really big country, the United States is a really big pool.
It is. Like, I was amazed by the talent here. Like, the first week I came here to visit, I was like, what am I even doing here? Like, everyone is amazing. Like, I think, honestly, I had to sit back down and I got quite stressed out. And I was like, gee, everyone here is amazing. That there is so much talent. There is a place for everyone, but it's definitely, a very competitive field. And I think you need to understand that when you come here, that, you're not going to be the best. I'm definitely not the best here, but, there is a lot of, amazing talent here. And it's really important to just, know that you do have a place here as well. But,
Well, and also I have to mention your fashion, because you have a very good fashion sense. You wear really cute clothes, and you love boots.
I do.
And in your latest video, you had some stuff going on there, some shots of your boots and everything.
Yeah.
So tell me about what you love about fashion, what you love about dressing, or how you like to style yourself.
I have so much fun with, dressing myself up for shows, for shoots and everything. And I just love literally going thrifting or going to secondhand markets or vintage clothing shops and finding pieces and really putting them together. And I've got my Pinterest boards, which are decked out with all these outfit inspos and everything I want to kind of create. And I love just finding cool pieces at a vintage shop. My favorite way to spend a day off is vintage shopping, finding cool pieces, and then going to a general store and finding things to go with it.
Yeah.
And creating these outfits. But I have so much fun with it, and doing the makeup and hair and designing looks. I just think it's such an exciting part of this as well.
Yeah, that's really fun. And you'll have to get a boot sponsorship or something.
I know. I think I need to.
We got to work on that.
I can get you some boots too.
Yeah, get me some.
Oh, don't worry. I got you, Kirsti.
Get your manager work on that.
I will. It's his first task today.
Yeah, as soon as you get out of here, hey, we got to get some boots going.
Kirsti gave me a task.
Yeah. Yeah, don't write a song. Give me some boots.
Yeah, priorities, right?
Exactly. That's so fun. So tell me a story of something that's happened to you. I call it my Stay Inspired story, and I ask all my guests this. Tell me a story of something that really inspired you. It could be any, I know you're only 17, but something that's happened in your life. It could be anything. It doesn't have to be about music.
Yeah, I think I'd like to tie that together kind of with a quote. And I think that's to go with, what's more important is what you do every day, not what you do some days. And I think in this industry, it's so dependent on a lot of people's opinions. And, when you drop a song, for example, I might not get added to that playlist because there are 8 other artists that are dropping that day, or because Morgan Wallen dropped a record, or maybe because my sound doesn't fit the festival. They've already got too many females. They've already got too many pop artists, or whatever. There's always kind of different denominators that can determine things. And I think in my career, I've had times when I've got no gigs coming up, and I will have no gigs. I didn't get the ad I wanted to radio. I didn't get the playlist that I wanted. And I think you can really, get run down by that sometimes, being well, why aren't I getting any, why am I not getting these opportunities that I would really, appreciate to get? And things can really turn around so quickly. That happened to me, and I was really a bit upset about it. And I was like, I've got no gigs coming up. This is really disappointing. And literally 2 days later, I picked up 12 shows. I got added to 4 playlists. I got 3 radio ads. And I just think that it's so important to this industry is there's so many different variables that can determine things. And I think what's so important is to know that, if you keep working every day at it and not just going, when is it going to be my turn?
Right.
It's so important to just put in the work every day and go, I'm going to write today. Even if I'm not going to get the opportunities, I'm still going to keep reaching out to people. Even if they keep saying no, it's so important to just consistently do that. And, consistency over persistency, just determinedly do that as much as you can. I think that's the most important thing. And, things are going to come eventually. If you keep doing that, they're going to come. And I think that's really my inspired story is, it's not a matter of getting everything at once, but you might have nothing for 3 months and then it can just completely turn around in a day, which is crazy. So
that's really good advice. And I love your consistency, not persistency thing. That is so true. Because I think so many times artists, they get all hyped up about one thing that they're going to do. And then when it's over, like, okay, I did the work, I'm done for now. And one of my marketing friends always said, you should work on something in your career every single day, except for give yourself a day off. You should do that. And I think that's really good.
Thank you.
Very nice. Now, tell me about your new song that you're going to have coming out and who you wrote it with and when you're going to release it and the name of it and all the good stuff.
Yeah, so I've definitely been working on a heap of new music since I've been in Nashville. I'm pretty much writing like once a day or twice a day now, which I'm absolutely loving. I'm getting such a kick out of it. But we've got a bunch of new songs that are kind of getting ready to go, which is going to be really fun, and they'll be rolled out throughout the year. The next one will come out in probably like 8 to 10 weeks, which is super exciting. I can't really tell you the title of it yet because that's still a surprise.
Okay.
But it will be coming out real soon, and I cannot wait to share it. And really, I'm so proud of this song as well. I think it really follows what we did with Follow My Road. It's a similar sound, and I'm really proud of it, so I can't wait to get that out
I
as well.
can't wait to hear it. That's going to be
Thank
so
you.
cool. I love it. And I love how Follow My Road came out, and I think that song is so fun, and I love the message of it.
Oh, absolutely. We had such a fun time writing that one too.
Yeah, it was really good. So tell me, and you probably have quite a few, but tell me, what's your power word, or what's one of your power words or phrases?
I think possible. And I think that it's so... I'm a bit of a dreamer myself, and I kind of like to think of what could happen if I do all these things, and if I'm consistent with, my goals and setting everything out and working at it every day, it is possible for those things to happen. And I think that's just such a thing for me. Like, I have my vision boards and my manifestos and everything that I look up at. And I think, it's so sweet to have something to look forward to and look at what could happen. And I think possible really closes that together.
Yeah, that's really interesting. It's something just came to me when I did a vision board one time. I think it was in my acting class.
Okay.
And I had this, and this was before I ever did Songwriter Girl, but I had this idea that I wanted to help, I wanted to help girls. And on my vision board, I put, like girls that, looked a certain way. And I remember I was in Colorado and I was going down to look at these falls. And it was such a sign to me. And as I'm going down to the falls, here comes these 3 little babies being carried by their parents, and they looked exactly like the girls on my vision board. It was the weirdest thing, Lily. It was so strange.
So maybe it's true.
I know, and I thought this was some kind of a sign,
Yeah.
But I think that is so true, and I love vision boards. Yes. I think they're so much fun to make. It's such like a kiddish thing to do, to cut out pictures and stuff. It's
way to waste time.
It's the best. It's the best. Now, another thing I was going to ask you is what are you most grateful for today?
I think I'm grateful for the support of, my friends, family, and supporters who kind of push me forward and stuff.
Yeah.
And they're allowing me to be here in Nashville and kind of following this dream. I've wanted to be here since I was like 13. And I think it's really awesome to have them, constantly sending me kind messages and, cheering me on from afar if they're back home, or if they're in the US as well. I think that's something super special.
That's really, really great. Well, you just have fans everywhere, which is what we need. Now, you're going to play something for us to close the show. What are you going to play?
I'm going to play the latest single that I wrote with one of the best, Kirsti Manna,
you're sweet.
And Chaise Flanders, called Follow My Road.
Well, we can't wait to hear it.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for being here today. I loved seeing you here, and it was a great time, and I love your energy, and
Thanks.
Good luck with everything, sweetie.
Thank you for having me, Kirsti.
You're welcome. Everybody stick around. We're going to be right back, and Lily's going to play her latest single. Don't go anywhere.
You're my hero, more than a hero, and I look up to you every single day. Every day, my celebration, my inspiration is to be like you, but in my own way. You're my hero, more than a hero.
I've spent years of self-discovery learning how to live a successful creative life. That's why I created my course, Spark Your Creativity, the Steps to a Successful Creative Journey, to help others discover their own potential. Your creative journey never ends. So why not invest in yourself and sign up for my course today at Kirsty.com. See you on the journey.
Hey, I'm Lily Grace, and this is my new single, Follow My Road. Wake up staring at the ceiling. Ever wake up with one of those feelings? Gotta get out, spit some gravel. It's all about the road less traveled. Grab the keys, let the wheels just take me. Can't wait to see what the world's got waiting. Load up the back, fill up the tank, not gonna overpack. Headed, I'm gonna follow my road, out of my comfort zone. It's gonna shake me, it's gonna take me home. No matter where it goes, I'm gonna let it go. It's gonna shake me, it's gonna take me home. I'm gonna follow my road. Small towns flying by and slow down, stop, no, that won't happen. I'm in a hurry to nowhere, I'll know when I get there. Soaking up the blacktop's burning. Ride the wheel when the world starts turning. Radio up, hair in the wind, singing out loud. Headed, I'm gonna follow my road, out of my comfort zone. It's gonna shake me, it's gonna take me home. No matter where it goes, I'm gonna let it go. It's gonna shake me, it's gonna take me. Load up the back, fill up the tank, not gonna overpack. Sunny's a run till the sun is gone. I won't sleep that long. Hey, I'm gonna follow my road, out of my comfort zone. It's gonna shake me, it's gonna take me home. I'm gonna follow my road, out of my comfort zone. It's gonna shake me, it's gonna take me home. I'm gonna follow my road.
You've been listening to KIRSTIcast.